Hey Kevin, I've heard you've had a
What
lot of
up?
changes in your life lately, man, and I did
Man,
get to
yeah.
see you down there at the Country Fest,
Yeah,
and that was kind of cool. I got some questions about that too, but we'll just
for
dig into
sure.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Dive
let's
right
go.
in.
Dive right in. I like to start with something simple. So, what is your go-to karaoke song when you're not performing professionally?
Something that's not country. Yeah, if I'm gonna do karaoke, we gotta throw some people off. So I don't know.
I heard one song that
Lately,
you did was Gin and Juice.
I've done that.
You
I have done that.
get a good
Oh,
listen.
absolutely. Let's see. Hot in Here, Nelly. That's one.
Yep.
And then let's see. Mr. Brightside's always a good one. But I kind of
Oh
cheat.
yeah,
I do that one at shows. So
that's a great one, but that's okay.
yeah.
That works. So, how did you find your way into juggling two different careers, being program director at the Wolf and then also being a recording artist?
Yeah, man. It's definitely weird. I wasn't expecting to do it, that's for sure. But it worked out really good. The people that own the radio station, Todd and Amy Bush, they are awesome people, and they kind of stepped in, taking over management and stuff. And when they did that, I was coming back from. I was in LA, and I went to NAM out there. It's one of the big like industry equipment showcases, and I'd come back, and of course, I still did my midday show, and they had asked me what I thought about coming back, and I was, yeah, if we can make it work, and I can still tour and do all that stuff, that sounds good. And I took some time to build up the Wolf a little bit again. We're still constantly building, right? Growth is not an overnight thing by any means, but yeah, they're super good with my tour schedule and stuff. Like I'm leaving Thursday to go and play some shows in Myrtle Beach, and then Gatlinburg next week, and can still do the show and everything. So it works out really good.
That's great. It's like the internet, I guess, right? Has changed
Yeah,
how you can do your job a little bit
kind
whenever
of.
with radio on the radio side anyway.
Yeah, kind of. We've actually just had a major equipment upgrade, so we just redid this studio that I'm in, and that's been really cool. And we upgraded the software and the automation system that we use, which it really helps me. So I can bring my studio pretty much anywhere, and that's an awesome thing.
That's great. I did see your at the Country Fest. I saw your setup, especially with the
Yeah,
cameras and
that's the
everything.
Wolf's Mobile Studio, so that's a really cool thing too.
That's pretty awesome. And we'll
Yeah,
get more into that in a few. See, now, I've used some AI tools to create some of these questions. So if they're not quite right,
let's go.
forget.
All
Growing
right,
up
we'll
in
do it.
Sonora and now in Elizabethtown,
Yeah.
what inspired you to stay rooted here instead of moving full time to Nashville? Or did you and then come back? I'm not real sure.
Yeah, so I tried a couple times, but they were very short stints because I love Nashville. Don't get me wrong. There's so much to do there. It's a lot of fun. It's not my favorite place to live though. And I think I'm kind of like you guys, you saw something really special in this community and saw something special in just E-Town as a whole. And I think that's why I'm rooted here. It's because not only is it home, not only is it centrally located for, wherever I do need to go, but nothing else just feels the same. So
That's great. That's a great answer, too.
I try.
So, what is your drive to drive to excel in both careers? I mean,
Oh,
it's hard enough, I know, just to be doing one career, but you're
yeah,
doing broadcasting and music. What drives you to do that and then to do it well?
do it well. That's a loaded one. I don't know. A lot of it is just not only my passion for music, but passion for radio too. When you look at everything that's kind of happened in the world when it comes to natural disasters here recently with the fires out in California and the hurricanes down in North Carolina, one thing that I think a lot of people saw was relying on radio when other things weren't working. And so there's not only still a need for it in emergency times, but I still think that it's got a power and a significant power at that. And then just my love for country music, man. I love all kinds of it, not just the stuff that's coming out now, not just the 90s country. I love all of it. So I think those two things and being able to do them at the same time, that's a cool thing too.
I think it's unique,
Yeah,
y-
absolutely.
very unique. So, what's the bigger why behind your work and the impact you hope to make in Hardin County and around with your music audience too, but specifically Hardin County.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expanding on just sometimes everything that is life can really, I don't want to say get you down, but it's always good to have some positive distraction from some things that go on. And my goal as an entertainer, as a personality, is to keep that entertainment. And also, on the radio side, when it does come time that we do need to relay important information, of course, like you guys, we're here to do that. But my main goal is to entertain, and I love seeing people smile. I love seeing people have a good time, and that's the longer why for me.
Makes sense. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool. How
and
do
it's
you
fun.
approach? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I mean, you always do a good job. There's things that I'll watch on the Wolf Facebook page
yeah,
just because you're on camera and it's always interesting.
yeah.
So
I
highly
appreciate that,
suggest,
man. Thank you. Yeah,
yeah, highly suggest anybody that hasn't checked out the Wolf's Facebook page, you go check it out. And also
absolutely.
Kevin Jaggers' Facebook page too. All
Yes.
right. How do you approach programming and connecting with listeners on the radio? Is that
Ooh,
different than with your music? I would assume it is.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Because, it's funny. There's stuff that can go over really well on radio that will absolutely bomb at a show. And it's just, there's no way of avoiding it. There's some that work in both. And I think the advantage for me is I'm around all of it and I'm listening to all of it and I'm thinking about that in my head all the time. So that really helps out at shows. When it comes to programming, though, the big thing in country music, and I'm sure that it's in other genres, but I'm more familiar with the country side of things. But there's always this, well, that ain't country, and I want George Strait, Alan Jackson, or I want George Jones and Merle Haggard and that kind of stuff. And then there's this new country wave, and then the subgenres of country and the alt country and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many different people that you have to try to please, right? And so the thing that I try to do is just mix it all together the best I can, but also have some kind of flow to where you're not just like, boom, here's Shabuzi, then bam, here's Merle Haggard. You know what I mean? Like, have some kind of structure of it. And that's fun to do too, because it's like a puzzle. So it's the inner nerd in me comes out, and that's something that I really love. So
yeah, no, something that we have to do here since we've restarted the podcast is just try to think through what people want to hear, because part of
yeah,
our job is entertaining during it, but also being informative. So
yeah,
I can look at the analytics and tell usually, but for you got two different things maybe mixed up. If you got your music, your shows, and then this, probably hard to keep it straight. So I think you do a great job with it.
well, thank you, man. What's a really cool thing that's been here recently that we haven't really talked about because it's a different thing to kind of grasp, but the Wolf is actually a reporting station now. And what that means is we actually work with the labels and different people in Nashville to push these records. And so they'll call and, try to talk to me about different songs, get me to listen to different stuff so they can get more spins and climb the charts. And so that's been a really weird adjustment. That usually happens in major markets, but I mean, I think that just attests to the growth of this area in Elizabethtown.
I think so. And the growth of the Wolf too, I would guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Must have more listeners for that to be
Yeah.
something that they're doing now, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What can people expect from your midday happy hour show? Like, I don't know why it says happy hour. Do you call it that? Like, I don't know if the AI said that or not.
Yeah, that it might be, but yeah,
Yeah.
it can be. Might as well
What?
be. It
Oh,
should be.
I
Yeah.
think I was happy I was
Um,
Kevin's around.
yeah,
I
completely
don't know
down for it
where
to be a happy hour. Yeah.
I don't know where Claude pulled that from.
I thought he
But
was
it
going
goes
to call
10
it
to
Jaegers
3.
with Jaggers.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that there now. That's gonna happen.
Jaegers with Jaggers. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it's 10 to 3 every day
yeah,
or on the weekdays, right? So
yeah, on the
what can
weekdays.
people expect, that don't already know what to expect?
I just like to keep the energy up. If you're a country music fan, you're gonna hear a little bit of everything, but also just, I think that just having some light conversation and playing some good tunes, it can go a long way. So
Great. How has it been being a recording artist? How's that shaped your radio programming and artist interviews? Because I've noticed it,
oh,
at the,
tremendously. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I think it's made me better at it. I'm not good at it by any means. Actually, I was just talking to one of my colleagues here and a friend of mine, just the interview process, and that's something that I want to get better at. But yeah, I definitely think it shaped me because I've been on the other end of it. So it's something that, I haven't went through like a actual media training like a lot of the artists do. I would be really interested in doing that, but just having that different perspective, I definitely think helps. And, I think that helps not only being able to do it, but forming the questions and like you guys, just finding out what people want to hear about.
Yeah, I noticed like when you were interviewing Sam Hunt at the Highland Country Fest, that you
Yeah.
were like a little more personal than I think most people would. And I
Hmm.
guess that's because you are an artist as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And then speaking of the Highland Farms Country Fest, what was it like performing and then also interviewing artists like all in the same time? It's like I know went from doing your set almost
Absolutely
immediately to
crazy.
interviewing,
Absolutely crazy. That's exactly what that was. It was a lot of running, a lot of golf cart rides from one side of the festival grounds to another. But yeah, it was super great. It's one of those great examples of me getting to do both things in one, and
Yeah.
I think it's anytime that I get to bring them together, it's a super cool thing for me. And of course, that was the biggest set of interviews that I've done with the highest caliber of artists that I've worked with. So that's another really cool thing. But yeah, there was a lot of first, and it was a lot of fun. It was very busy though.
Yeah, I noticed like because I came back with you guys before Sam Hunt came and was interviewed
Yeah.
after your first show, and like yeah, you guys were having a great time, and I ended up
Oh
having a lot
yeah.
of fun hanging out with you and the rest of the Wolf crew back there before Sam
Yeah,
Hunt.
and I'm glad you did too, man. That was a fun weekend. Crazy.
It
Job
was.
knows about that too. He was out there, and Nathaniel Bryan. I saw you, and yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
time. Shout out to Jimmy and Missy for that.
Yeah, what was your overall opinion of how the whole thing was run? I know we conversed about it and we were just real impressed about how
Yeah.
Jimmy and his team ran it. We even noticed like like the second day, they must have talked about things that night and then they changed, they added a standing room and kind of moved the porta potties around and make
Yeah.
it even more better. Yeah, you want to speak just a little to that event, just since
For
it was
sure.
local?
I think that Jimmy really puts it best when you talk to him, right?
Mhm.
About his why of why he wanted to do the festival. And not speaking for him, but I've heard him enough times say it, but he actually enjoys going to concerts and he wants that experience for the community. And that was one thing that I loved hearing when we first got involved, both in the radio station and, of course, me ended up playing it. But I think that was the big thing, right? So yeah, they absolutely did talk about it and started making some changes and stuff. But it was with the concert goer, and I think that
Mhm.
sets them apart from so many different other festivals.
Yeah, that's what I think, and I think like I was talking to Nate about it after too, because we were there, and also Job was there too.
You'll
But
be,
I just thought it was great. I thought that
yeah,
they really tried to put their shoes, put their feet in the shoes of like somebody that was gonna be there,
yeah.
and I had a great time. One of the best times I've had at any music festival my entire life. So I hope they do it again
And
next year.
honestly, I really do think that it was my favorite first year festival that I've been to. And I've been to a lot of festivals, been to a lot of concerts. And I'm not just saying that because it was in E-Town. I really do think that they did an excellent job, especially year one.
And I'm hoping, and I think too, this is probably true because everybody I've talked to, I think the people that were there, they'll be talking it up and
Yeah,
telling their friends, next time you guys got to come out there. It was an awesome time because it really
absolutely.
was. That sunset coming down during the shows, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it
All
was the
right.
place to be.
It sure was. What's your most memorable, I can't talk today, memorable,
It's okay.
you get it,
I'm like that
experience
too.
opening for an artist? What was your favorite one or experience in that situation?
Gosh, I think there's so many. Trace Atkins was really memorable, just because of height difference. I don't know if you guys, well, if you've seen me before, I'm by no means the tallest person in the room by a long shot. I'm a solid 5'5" on a good day, depending on how high my hat is. But Trace Atkins is a big dude. He is huge. And I remember getting off stage and I almost bumped into him, but it was just like a wall. And so I look up and I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Atkins, thanks for letting me open for you." And he's like, "Well, I'm just glad you all had fun." And that was pretty cool. I don't know. The first year that they did Spotify House in Nashville for CMA Fest, that was a really big one. And then let's see. I don't know. There's so many. Highland Farms was a great one. The first time that I did a tour run right after I turned 22, that was pretty cool too. So we did like 15 different cities, and that was awesome.
So that means that how long have you been doing that type of touring?
Oh
You're how old
gosh,
now?
I'm 29.
So,
Ne-
okay, 7 years at least, if not
Yeah,
longer.
yeah,
That's crazy how fast time goes by. I swear.
it is, man. It really is.
It really. Where is the best place that you prefer people to find your EPs and your music? Where do you make the most money, for when they go to get it?
The answer to that is nowhere. But yeah, I really don't make any money off of the digital stuff, just being honest.
Yeah.
It takes so many thousands and 10,000s of streams to even really see a profit from that, right? But that is, I mean, as an artist, that's something that you have to do, right? Getting music out to people, and that's one of the things that I'm working on as we speak too, is getting more music out. But yeah, I would say any of the digital platforms. So if you listen to, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever you listen on, that's the best place to go.
Okay. And do you sell merch or actual or
Yeah,
CDs or
in
any vinyl
spurts.
albums? Okay.
In
That's
spurts. Vinyl is crazy expensive.
mm,
So I haven't done that yet, but pretty much any of the other stuff I've done before. And so
and
try to have that out. Where I know that we're planning on doing something hopefully later this year for that. So
then that's like the best place to find out about that is on your website. The,
yeah, or Facebook or
okay.
Instagram, TikTok, any of that stuff.
Any of them. That's great. Keep it
Yeah.
all consistent across all the
I try
platforms.
to. I'm not the
Yeah.
best at it, that's for sure. But I'm
Yeah,
working on
neither.
it.
We're
Work in
getting there.
progress. Yeah.
What's your favorite venue or performances like where you've played? I know you played like Bluebird Cafe, I think,
Yeah.
some other places like that. What is your favorite venue to play at?
So far, hands down was the locals at the stage show. I think that
I don't
was
think I've been
super
there.
cool. Yeah, yeah. We did that a couple years ago. It was me, Casey and Romy, and Grafenberg. But just there's something about a hometown crowd and being able to do that. That was really cool.
Like Davis said, tell Kevin to call me when he's done here. Laugh out.
That would be Dave Crabtree, who is going to be going with me. We're playing in Myrtle Beach this weekend, like I said, and so yeah, that's gonna be fun.
I noticed that you were involved with like Dirty Dog Bash
Yeah.
and some other nonprofits. But tell us a little bit more about like what you like to support and how you kind of work with other nonprofits.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. Mike from the Hardin County Animal Shelter was just in here. So, but no, so I love the Friends of Hardin County Animal Shelter. I think they do some great things to help Mike and everybody at the shelter. Animals got a special place in my heart, of course. And there's several different nonprofits that I like to work with. I love United Way of Central Kentucky. I think they do some great work as well and really benefit some of those other nonprofits and different things that are around here and based in our community. But yeah, no, the Dirty Dog Bash is a really fun one. I've been really fortunate to do that the past several years. And I always look forward to that because it's such a great event, and it's great to see all the people in the community support that.
And I also read that you had a scare at a very hot
Yeah,
local event.
that is the first time that I've ever passed out on stage.
Yeah, how
So
was that? Was that
not
a
great,
scary
not great at all.
situation, or was
Yeah,
it just
so yeah, what happened? It was 106 in the building. I think that's what one of the firefighter people told me, and it was one of those things. We were at White Mills days. I got through my whole set, but I could tell something was off, and I drank water and a whole bunch of water. Actually, I chugged like 5 on the stage. And then I got through the second chorus of Friends in Low Places, which was my last song. And then I cut it short. I was like, thank you guys, have a good night. And I unplugged my guitar, and then I ended up just kind of falling back on a church pew backstage. So that was
Yeah, well,
then
I'm
I got
glad you're
pulled down.
love
And,
it.
yeah. Then I got
glad you're
pulled
okay.
down, and yeah. That was a experience for sure. But the people at White Mills Days were so great, and everybody was, checking on me, concerned, and all that. And so I was really fortunate.
All right. Well, we're about time. We're about out of time, so I'm going to move to the last question. What are
Go
you
for it.
excited about? Upcoming music, radio projects, community events. I know you said you were going to go do some touring.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up?
Got the shows. I know that we're gonna plan some more E-Town shows here soon, so be looking for that. We'll be hitting up BBT very soon, JOB. So, but yeah, excited about that. Still writing new music and stuff, and a lot of things happening with the Wolf. So that's been really exciting. Concert season is still very much in full swing right now, so that's been a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah, and I also forgot one other question.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk for a moment about your recent engagement? I know you got engaged.
Yeah, that's been a big change in my life, and yes, thank you guys. No, Paige is absolutely the best thing that's happened in my life, hands down. And so, yeah, finally made that official, and yeah, we're planning a wedding and all the good things. So it's been very, very awesome. I'm truly blessed. So
If you need a travel agent for your honeymoon, I happen to know one.
come on with it. Let's go. I'm ready, Nate. Let's do it.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for joining us, and we're glad
Yeah,
that
thank you guys.
we're glad you got engaged. We're glad you
Yeah.
got multiple jobs and that you're killing it. And
Well, hey, you guys are killing it too. Thank you guys for having me on the show today.
yeah, and you can. I know you're probably busy, so you can either drop off or you can hang out while we do the rest. It's up to you.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'll catch you guys later. I'll start
All
watching.
right.
See you
All
guys.
right.
All right. See
See
you
you
later.
guys. All right. That was great.